Hey everyone, we got the whole weather team here, and it's just panned over on me.
Saw that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Gigazak. All right, so first of all, here we go. We got storms rolling in. I got to do a quick update. Peyton Langford in the back, Josh Rugger from home, and we even got Harper too.
Yes.
Harper joining us.
All 5 members.
All 5 members of the weather authority team, your weather authority team. Wow, she's liking that.
Yeah, she loves that loving.
We have limited time. We got some important information to get out. If you are going to the Foreigner concert, don't be a foreigner to our weather app because you'll need to download it because look at what we've got. Storms rolling in a lot earlier than what we were previously thinking. This is going to come in. I know they're moving up the concert. The concert's starting at 7. And they're going to have the opening act, and then they're going to have a Foreigner come on, and they're going to be done by 10. They're going to be done way before 10. This is most likely easily coming in way before 10. As you can see, this storm system is dropping southeast. Now, first of all, got to give some kudos to our weather authority team. Got to say this. First of all, Zach, Peyton, you did amazing last night. But before the storms were rolling in, we were analyzing all the data. We were looking at it. We didn't back down. We knew storms were developing. We knew storms were popping. What was one of the key takeaways on that you were looking at, Peyton? Like the way those storms popped up and models were all over the place, but we just stuck to our guns. We just did.
Yeah, everything being pushed later led us to believe that stuff's going to pop up earlier.
Yeah,
like that.
It's the Loverboy concert. Well, Loverboy is a part of it, but you also have Foreigner. That's the headliner. Loverboy, by the way, everybody's working for the weekend, but it seems like meteorologists are working through the weekend. It just doesn't stop. This weather pattern just keeps staying active. So, and then got to give a shout out to Josh. Josh, amazing job with the tornado this morning. Yes, and we don't want to give, we just want to let people know that you were on that storm. We tracked it. We looked at the damage this morning. Zach and Peyton covered all the duties today as we were looking at all the damage, and we're going to get to more of the forecast. But tell us what you were seeing last night and what you were checking out with that storm, and what made you believe that the tornado was about to develop.
We were watching that storm pretty much well before we even had the tornado warning on it. In fact, it was by far the strongest storm we had last night. Not to say that we didn't have strong thunderstorms in northwest Arkansas as well, but you can clearly see that line segment was the one that we had to watch closely, especially because it was moving more east-southeasterly. The storms that moved through northwest Arkansas were in a more easterly direction, so they weren't line normal. They weren't storms that we typically look at for QLCS potential. And again, the main takeaway from this morning that we always stress with these setups is, yes, the tornado potential is very low, but it's not zero. And especially when you have the amount of instability that we had in place last night with temperatures well into the 80s, dew points near the 80s in a lot of locations. These storms had a tremendous amount of fuel. The storms took the exact motion they needed in order to have tornado development. And I had a hunch, right around 4:05 that something was about to go down in Mansfield. And sure enough, that's what we saw with that storm. And of course, it's so hard with these QLCS setups. Especially with how quickly these storms can ramp up. But training that we do almost every single day or almost every single week in order to figure out these storms is really paying off right now. And this is the type of setups that we always look for, especially this time of year, or even not even this time of year, because typically you won't see severe weather like this time of year in northwest Arkansas. It's definitely a unique pattern. But I think it's really paying off right now, and I'm so happy to hear that nobody was hurt from this either.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, you and I were kind of looking at that damage. I want to give an idea where the damage path was, and you're going to see here confirmed EF1 tornado. Now, Josh and I and Charles Peak with the Weather Channel, we went down there thinking, we might see a few trees down in a rural area. We didn't hear anything about the damage that occurred in Mansfield, but the Weather Service out of Tulsa already knew about it. So here we are in Sebastian County, in southern Sebastian County, and this is the approximate path that we saw with the tornado. And so it went all the way down to Spur Lake Spur, and you can see EF1 tornado, approximately about a 3-mile path length that's moving in. So That's what we're kind of looking at with the damage path of that. This is not the full damage report from the Weather Service. This is just our findings looking at and observing the data. So that's enough of that. We got to get to what's happening now. And there's a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for northern Delaware County in northeast Oklahoma. So also, too, did you see the TBS pop up there, Peyton? Peyton and I were looking at this. This is still QLCS potential.
It does.
I've been looking at this for at least 30 minutes already.
And what are some of the things that you're noticing, Peyton, with this?
So there is a part on the southern end that is like alpha dominant, and then there's this part up here that is shear dominant or copal dominant. But then there's this nice balanced region near Miami that looks like it's headed right for northern parts of Benton County, Madison County.
So we're not even at 7 o'clock. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's for Delaware County, and it goes until 7:30. So we're gonna have these storms, I think, around 9 o'clock in Bentonville.
I'll be watching them there. I'm watching them now.
Looks close. It's close, Alex, and it's coming in about 9 o'clock. So we'll give you an idea of the tracking here in just a second. But there's the storms. They're rolling in. Get ready for an incredible shelf cloud. If we get to see it, I think we will. I think it'll be moving in before sundown. You won't believe this, Josh. Our camera at Pinnacle is down.
No way. Oh, my
Yes.
goodness. Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
The time that we really need it.
Yeah.
So we got a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until midnight. We've got a flash flood watch. That is so confusing. I wish they'd just
Very confusing.
They have the flood watch, potential flash flood warnings coming. That goes until the morning hours tomorrow, and they're right on top of each other. So let's look at that radar from Tulsa. We'll track out some of these storms. There it is, a 60 mile an hour winds, and until 7:30, there's that severe thunderstorm warning. Let's track this out. Let's put it into motion. First of all, how fast is the line moving? 50 miles an hour. Oh, you know what? I've got to update that. Brother, this is going to be even earlier than what we previously said.
Yeah.
Bella Vista, 747. That's an hour from now if it's moving at 50 miles an hour. Eureka Springs, 814. Fayetteville, 837.
And
So
could be earlier.
It could be earlier.
It could be
It could
earlier.
speed up. These things speed up. Let's look at Bentonville here. Whoa. Don't look at that. We got to update this. Update the speed. 50 miles an hour. Dropping southeast. There you got Bentonville, 802. That's not even close to the end of the concert.
And the thunderstorm warning that was just issued for Southwest Missouri.
Yep.
I think there's a new
just
one.
got issued.
Donald
We'll take a
County.
look at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting didn't get the tag on there that's popping up.
Uh-oh.
I'm not in play mode. I have to play it in play mode at 7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought if you're in a data set, it'll still pop up, doesn't it?
It should. They're popping up fine this morning.
So there's that, and that is 60 mile an hour winds, quarter size hail. That goes until 7:45. The amp is going to be in bad news.
Yeah, it is.
You guys I can't stress this enough. If you're going to the Walmart amp concert, do not expect to see the full show.
No. I wouldn't expect a whole lot at all, to be honest with you, the way these storms are moving. I really, in my opinion, I think it should be canceled. Really, because I don't think people should be out and about in these storms. These storms can be very, very strong. If we don't see, QLCS tornadoes, we're going to see damaging wind gusts.
Yeah.
And folks don't need to be out and about in that.
Yeah, we don't need a repeat of what happened at Red Rocks, where people just got hailed on, just got so many
goodness.
bruises
Yeah.
and just got absolutely battered out there.
Yeah, and that could have been avoided.
Yeah.
That easily could have been avoided. In
Yeah.
fact, there were all those signs that actually the storms were going to pop up, and you saw the videos on social media coming in, Zach. So what's your thoughts about with this line coming in? What do you think we're going to see with it, Zach?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the main threats here are going to be the damaging winds, and could see winds the high 70 to 80 miles per hour. So borderline life-threatening winds here. Definitely damaging. Flash flooding once again. Going to be another issue because we had that rain last night. Ground still pretty moist, and could see some more rain, some more heavy rain. So going to have to watch out for that. Again, hail, lesser concern with the hail, but again, non-zero tornado threat with these QLCSs. Going to have to watch that closely. And again, the timing just keeps getting pushed up and up. So right now we're thinking around, 7:38 should be entering the picture for us.
That's a lot earlier than everything that is shown.
Because we were thinking last time like 11.
Okay.
But now.
And then when we made the forecast today, you saw me making that timing forecast. It
Yeah.
was, or that timing graphic, it was a 9.
Yeah, and here we are now, 7:30.
So it says they just canceled part of the concert already. Okay.
So maybe it's just 4.
So yeah. Thank you for letting us know that. That sucker is freaking moving fast. Bigger risk, wind. Yep. Because here so before you even ask that, we got the damaging wind threat on there. That hatched area covers parts of Benton County. That is northern and northwestern Benton County. If you look at the hail threat, it's a lot lower. And the tornado threat, according to this, does not show. Josh, was there any 2% tornado threat for the Mansfield storm?
No, there was not. There was absolutely not over our area. Not even close.
Those QLCS tornadoes are so tough.
They take that perfect path and they line up with everything with the shear vector. They go nuts 100% of the time. And we saw that again this morning. And I wouldn't, again, it's non-zero here in Northwest Arkansas as well, especially as these storms roll in early this evening.
I just want people to know, I want to kind of illustrate this. QLCS tornadoes are different than supercell tornadoes. Supercell tornadoes, you got a rotating thunderstorm, an updraft that has a wall cloud. The tornado typically comes from the bottom of the cloud, touches down. Sometimes there's even rapid development where the tornado forms at the ground up, and that's the new type of tornado that's developing, the theory. But QLCS tornadoes, they have this horizontal spin already that makes its way down to the ground. And then what happens is when it comes down to the ground, you've got a cold pool that's doing this, shear this way. And then what it does is it takes that spin and it just immediately pulls it upwards in the vertical. When it does that, since it stretches, it spins faster, just like a figure skater. So this is happening where it's descending, it's coming down, and then it goes whoop and just zips right on up and produces a tornado. And that's why they're called mesovortices. QLCS stands for quasi-linear convective system. Now, what that means is you have a line. It's not a solid line. There's parts of a line that are broken sometimes. You have a cluster of storms that have developed, all those things. And so that's why essentially you get these tornado potential spins because of the breaks in the line and all these other things that happen. So quasi-linear just means it's not a perfect solid line, just like this right here. This is not a solid line. So someone asked, Chris Brown, was October 2019, October 21st? Yes, it absolutely was a QLCS, 100%. What was in the Springdale tornado, a QLCS with a non-zero tornado risk?
It was 2%.
Yeah, 2%. And we were actually kind of in between risks on that one.
We were.
Dan, I just joined. What's going on right now? You are seeing what's going on right now on Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. We've got thunderstorms rolling in. Let's time it out. And the line is strengthening too.
The rear influx is strengthening. A solid reflectivity drop.
Yeah. So Peyton was talking about a solid reflectivity drop. I'll let him explain that.
Yeah. So with our QLCS training that we did, one of the things we look for is on the backside is where it looks like to be not as strong. So no reds and yellows. We got a reflectivity drop, which means this is all reflectivity. It's what the raindrops are reflecting back to the radar. But a reflectivity drop on the backside kind of indicates that the rear inflow jet, which is the winds on the backside, are strengthening and starting to sort of bow out the storm complex, which is good in a sense that it decreases the tornado threat, but it does have a very strong wind damage chance.
Sometimes that descending rear inflow jet, though, is a sign too that with that descending reflectivity core, that the storm's about to nudge out ahead of itself, just like what Peyton talked about, which can cause a balance in the updraft downdraft convergence zone.
And that's what happened this morning, by the way, too, with that Mansfield tornado. That's exactly what we saw right before it dropped one. And that's what,
yeah.
And that's why when you were talking about those QLCS tornadoes, Dan, that's why it's so important that you stay vigilant on these, because another difference between supercells and the QLCS type setups and supercells, you can see it evolving over time as the storm strengthens. QLCS tornadoes, they happen just like that. I mean, it can go from 0 to 100 in less than 5 minutes. And
all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's getting 6:57. Unfortunately, I got to hop off of here. I know we got a lot of comments and stuff like that. We did have a question about the dew points. I'll bring those up real quick. But I've got to get ready because we got I've got a 7 o'clock, got a 9 o'clock, got a 10 o'clock. We'll hop back on here after the 7. We'll do another Facebook Live, and we'll keep you updated on this line coming in. But for Josh, Zach, Peyton, and I, we got to run. Make sure you're safe and download our Weather Authority app. We'll try to provide some updates on these storms rolling in. So around 8:30, 9 o'clock, knocking on our doorstep. It's already severe in our weather coverage area. See you guys. Yep. Bye. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.